State of Texas versus Thomas Bell. Then according to the plea bargain agreements, the state is opposing the application for community supervision. Punishment in each of the cases has been assessed, and cause number 2020 CR 0497. The state is requesting that punishment be assessed at a cap of 8 years. And cause number 2020 CR 3148. The state is requesting that punishment be assessed at a cap of 2 years in the state jail facility. And in 2020 CR 3638, the state is requesting that punishment be assessed at a cap of 2 years in the state jail facility. State, do you have any witnesses?
None.
All right, defense, do you have any witnesses?
No, Your Honor. The defendant's father is present in court, but he did submit a letter to the court as to what he would testify to say, but he is here in support.
All right.
He wants to talk to the judge? It appears that the individual that is present in the courtroom does want to speak to the court, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bell, can you raise your right hand for me, please?
Mr. Bell, would you step up, please?
Oh, yes.
And right here, Mr. Bell. Thank you, sir.
All right, Mr. Bell, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand. And could you state your name for the record, please?
Larry Douglas Bell.
All right, defense?
Are you the same Larry Douglas Bell that previously submitted a letter to the court?
Yes.
Okay, and you have some things that you'd like to say in addition to that letter, sir?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir. What would you like to say to the court?
My health is it's not good now, and I need some help. Tommy's my only family. He's to the best of my knowledge, he has not committed any crime that with violence or my opinion is Tommy is a productive member of this society, and he's helped me for this past year, and I'm going to need his help even more coming up.
You may have told the judge already what the nature of your health problem is, but go ahead and say it for the record in open court. What is the nature of your health issue, sir?
I have renal failure, and I have a tumor on my pancreas. I spoke to my physician, my surgeon, on the way down here. I won't know anything until after 4 o'clock today, but his name is Dr. Borabari, and he is going to tell me today what I need to do. I know he's going to operate.
Now, you had indicated that Tommy, your son, helps you out in a number of different ways. Tell the court how it is that Tommy helps you out.
He's quite handy. He cooks for me. He helps me get up and down. It's getting more and more difficult to get up, but it's my understanding that the tumor on my pancreas is growing, it's advancing, and I know this is probably the best you'll see me in from now on. This is probably the strongest I'll be. So he takes care of my, he knows what to do, and I don't have the kind of income that would hire somebody to come in. So, and Tommy's he's not a violent man. He's a good guy.
Okay, Mr. Bell, the prosecutor might ask you a few questions now.
Okay.
We'll pass the witness, Mr. Nisbet.
All right, state.
No questions, Judge. No questions. We pass witness.
All right, thank you. You can have a seat. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we're back on the record. Any other witness, Mr. Gebbia?
No, Your Honor, that is our only witness.
All right, then the court will hear argument. State.
You'll have your
Judge, we Mr. Larry Bell, we feel for his circumstances. Seems like a nice man. I'm sure he loves his son very much. I don't know exactly what he does or doesn't know about, his son's criminal history, but the court obviously is the one making that decision. You can see before you, Mr. Bell's been at it a long time. You can see before you, he has been very active with felonies quite recently. We originally thought that he was habitual. However, he is not. He's only a repeater on third degrees and higher because his federal trip for conspiracy to distribute and his DWI third, because of the offense dates, would only count for a single enhancement. If just to sort of supplements the court's understanding of why we modified the pleas the other day. You see he has in-county as well as out-of-county criminal history, and you see that very recently he was again confirmed as an Aryan Brotherhood gang member. For all these reasons, Judge, the state took a cap opposed plea in this case. We obviously oppose his application. We would think Mr. Bell, if he loved and cared about his ailing father very much, wouldn't be doing this type of thing. He would instead be thinking about his family and making better choices one or many times over the dearth of what the court's looking at in the PSI. So for all these reasons, we're asking that you deny any applications in this case and that you reach the caps of the plea bargain that the state has asked for with the defense. Thank you.
All right. Defense?
Your Honor, we have one application on file for each of the cases. That is an application for regular community supervision, straight probation, felony conviction. So that would be an entry of time and a probated sentence. Your Honor, we have some issue with what Tom has to say about his criminal history. He went to prison for conspiracy to distribute marijuana at the federal level. Now, of course, that was some time ago. We're talking about a 2009 pen trip that he did to the federal pen. It was a 2006 DWI. So those particular instances are fairly old now. I know we do deal with a lot of things, but we're going already into 2021, almost halfway through. We got some old stuff there. He does have a fair amount of active cases right now, which he's taken responsibility for. The drug case in question here, Your Honor, is heroin. Heroin is a bad drug. Tommy is clean today. He has done his best to stay clean, despite how difficult it can be to be addicted to heroin. And then we have the 2 state jail felony cases, which are lower level stuff. He has no violent history. All of his history that we're looking at here is somehow drug or alcohol related. I do think that Tommy is very afraid to go to prison, not for doing time, because he's been there and done that already. He's done his federal time and he knows what that's like. What he's afraid of is missing out on his dad and being able to help his dad. That always isn't a great excuse to say, Judge, don't send this man to prison, probate these sentences. But in this particular case, I think this is a probation case as it were anyway, despite looking at what we might have in some criminal history. We're talking about someone who can really benefit from some rehabilitation. I think inpatient rehabilitation would be best for him, to be perfectly honest with you, and I've told him that already. However, in light of the circumstances that he's dealing with his father, I would ask the court to hold inpatient in abeyance and give him the opportunity to go on intensive outpatient supervision and show the court that he can do a better job of controlling his desire to consume alcohol and drugs, because that's what these cases are all about. They're all alcohol and drug related. In the one case, the big felony case, it was 3 syringes of heroin that he was caught with. And, that's a lot of trouble. And that's where he's in now. But we're at a time in our society, Your Honor, where we're not trying to lock up people who have heroin problems. We're trying to get them help. So he's asking for help. He needs the help. And if the court wants to hear it directly from him, he'll tell you how much he needs help. What we don't want ultimately is to send him up the river for what you and I judge ultimately won't be a very long time. Even if you gave him the whole 8 years, he'd probably end up doing more time on the state jails than he would do on the 8 years in prison. And then his dad goes into what he expects is going to be a very harrowing time with his health without the care of his son there to help him. So what I think is the right thing to do here, Judge, and what we try to do is we try to do the right thing, right? As the court knows from her extensive university studies at the illustrious Louisiana State University, we do the right thing because it's the right thing to do, right? That's the deontological perspective. And the right thing to do here isn't to send this young man to prison. It's to let him get some rehab and let him take care of his dad. And that's all I have, Judge.
All right, Mr. Bell, anything you wish to say?
Yes, Your Honor.
I'm going to need you to speak up.
Come closer.
I made some terrible decisions, Your Honor. I love my father, and I'm asking for your.
All right, this is where I want to stop you. And let me just explain this to you.
Yes,
people will come to me and they want me to give them probation. They want me to give them deferred. And the reason why they think that they should have deferred or probation, it's always because my children need me, my father needs me, my mom needs me. So let's pretend, in this hypothetical, that your father does not need you on the outside. You have no children on the outside, no relatives on the outside who need you.
Okay.
All right. So let's start there. So explain to me why you should be given probation.
Your Honor, I have 2 jobs and I'm a productive member of the community. I work hard. I run a crew for Mr. Kirk Daughtery, and he sent you a letter. I also do a lot of work for David Fontenot, and I have something to give. I have a talent in construction, and also I'm going back to school to finish my college education.
And you have a drug problem.
I've had a serious problem with substance abuse most of my life. I have been clean for some time now, and I also have an appointment with Treatment Associates this afternoon to actually go to an outpatient clinic. I just think I have a lot to offer, and I would very much like the opportunity to be a success.
And you're not a violent person.
I don't have any violence. There was no maliceful intent on any of it. And I just made some terrible decisions, Your Honor. And I apologize to you and for wasting your time and the state's time, and
All right. So here's my question.
Yes, ma'am.
You went to federal prison for drugs. So you went to federal prison, you got out. What did you learn from being in federal prison? I mean, because it appears that you haven't learned anything because you're back here.
Your Honor, I learned a lot, actually. I learned more so who I was in federal prison because...
Well, I mean, it's who you are, a person who's, a drug user or a drug dealer, because it appears that you haven't learned the most valuable lesson, which is let me stop committing crimes.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I mean, don't yes, ma'am me. I mean, I appreciate the respect, but I'm trying to get to the root of the problem as to why don't you understand that you cannot pick up criminal cases and then come to the court and come to everybody else wanting sympathy, wanting a chance, when if you got a heroin problem, then you need to take care of that on the outside. There are so many programs that are out here for people. So again, we're back to, have you learned anything? And can you learn anything? Sometimes people can't learn anything. Sometimes people just need to go to prison. So are you a person who just needs to go to prison? We can throw you away in prison. You'll get out shortly. And when you get out shortly, either you got to pick up more drug cases, in which case your father will be back before another judge begging for forgiveness and begging for you to get help.
No, ma'am.
Now, I'm telling you right now, whether I grant you probation or not, either way, you're not walking out of the courtroom today. So if I were to grant you probation, you're going to safety. So either way, you're not walking out of this courtroom today. So if you want to step back and talk with your client, I'm not saying I'm going to grant your probation, but if you want to talk to your client, your attorney beforehand, knowing that if I were to grant you probation, you're going to inpatient treatment. If you want to discuss that with your attorney, you can.
We don't need to step back. We've had that discussion. We anticipate that, Your Honor, and Mr. Bell is very aware of that as a possibility due to the nature of this particular offense and his history. He understands, and he is asking for help. If the answer to your question, Judge, is if the court is willing to consider his probation, his application for probation, he would do any type of rehabilitation to make himself better, Judge.
All right. So I'm looking at his criminal history. Is there anything, State, that I'm missing that's not drug or theft related with Mr. Bell?
Insofar as like violence to another human being?
Yes.
No. They are correct in stating that there is there's an allegation, but it was dismissed in 1998. But they are correct in stating he does not have any convictions for violence to a human being. I mean, factual, yes, that is a correct statement.
All right. And then let's talk about this gang affiliation.
Your Honor,
I've been a defense attorney. I understand why sometimes people join gangs at the prison, but let's talk about that.
I'm not a member of the Aryan Brotherhood, Your Honor. My cellmate in federal prison was a member of the Aryan Brotherhood, and because of that, somehow, I don't know, I got confirmed or stated that I was affiliated with them, but that's not true. I never joined the Aryan Brotherhood. I just, in prison, you hang out with who you hang out with. And I did hang out with them, but I have no, I don't even believe in gang membership. So, that's just I don't even know how that happened, but it's not true. And I don't associate with them. I don't do anything with them. In no way, shape, or form are they part of my life.
All right. Is there anything else from either side?
No, Your Honor.
Is it possible for me to treat me?
Anything else, State?
No, Your Honor.
Can I say one thing?
All right. Then in cause number 2020 CR 0497, the court, as previously stated, has found you guilty. Court will sentence you to 8 years in prison, suspended and probated for 10 years. All right, Mr. Bell, here's the thing. You thought you were going to prison today. Whether or not you go to prison right now is completely up to you. If you get over to the jail and pretend like you don't have a drug problem, or if safety doesn't accept you, we're going to have a big problem. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Same Thomas Allen Bell, who was placed on community supervision in cause number 2020 CR 0497 for the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams on April 16, 2021 for a term of 10 years. Is that you?
I am, Your Honor.
State?
Violated condition number 5 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Thomas Allen Bell, did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the month of October 2022, November 2022, December 2022, in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True, Your Honor.
We'll waive all remaining violations.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 5, the court could find it true, grant the motion, sentence you to 8 years in prison? Did you understand that?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 5?
I do, Your Honor.
Court will find violation of condition number 5 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, ma'am. The agreement is that the MTR be granted, he be revoked from community supervision, his underlying sentence be reformed to 4 years TDC.
Is that the agreement?
It is, Your Honor, and I had a few dates and patients put on the record.
All right, you may put those on the record.
And this would apply for the other clause members. There's 3 that he'll be entering the plea. All 3 have the same dates. April 4th, 2022 through April 22nd, 2022. January 19th, 2022 through March 7th, 2022. July 22nd of 2021 through January 19th of 2022.
All right, and did he successfully complete the inpatient?
He did, those were completed. And I believe in total on all of these cases, he has additional back time credit that's visible in the Bexar County system. We ask for all time credit applied towards the sentence.
All right, are you asking the court to follow the agreement, and are you waiving your right to appeal?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, the court will grant the motion, sentence you to 4 years in prison, give you credit for any time served. Good luck to you. You're going to have to do better in life. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself in and out of someone's prison. You understand?
I do, Your Honor. Permission to speak?
Yes.
Your Honor, I just wanted to thank you for being just and fair. That's one thing I know about you is that you are just and fair, and I really appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
All right, have a good day.